Right, hopefully that's everything on. And is it 1/4 past? It's not 1/4 past yet. I'm started early. So we've got some people in the chat already. Brilliant. I've got Dave Darko, Cheap Vlog, Brain Freeze, Dan Williams, Retro Junkie, Master Brown, Dan Williams. Hello, welcome to a Lazy Sunday stream. It is more intentional than the previous one, and that's a little loud, isn't it? Let me just turn that down. That should be better, hopefully, and hope not too peaking. Yeah, it's a little bit more intentional than the last one. The last stream was an accident. I was screen recording something for work, and I sort of might have pressed start streaming rather than start recording. It's still recorded, but I did happen to stream it, so that was a bit embarrassing. Anyhow, I'm just going to talk a little bit because I sort of set it for 8:15, so some people might not show up till then. But Lazy Sunday is a thing that I started a while back. It was born from boredom on a Sunday, and I bought some kits and decided that I would make them. This is one of those kits. There are plenty lying around, but I decided to build this one today. And I've got sort of various bits to support me doing it. And I won't go into them just yet. But this is the kit we're going to be making. And as far as I remember, this is something that someone bought from my Amazon wish list. I don't ever have anything on there that's very expensive. So it's probably about £2 delivered. I think someone asked whether I'd gone to get tea. I'd actually gone to get coffee. Because it's 8 o'clock in the evening, but it's actually 9. Because the clocks went back, so it is lighter in the evenings essentially, except it's not any lighter. They just arbitrarily changed the clock. Oh, we've got some more people turned up. I'm slightly behind on the chat from where you are, I think. So we've got Thomas, we've got Christian, we've got Stephen. Hey Stephen. And we've got Eric and Master Brown there. Master Brown said, hope you haven't given up on your idea of making your own kit. I haven't given up on it. It is still ongoing. I'm just one of these really slow people. It takes ages to figure things out. So, not figure things out, actually. It's finished. I just need to sort of get my act together and design the PCB and send it off for a tester, get it back. If it works, then we'll get some more done. But yeah, I just haven't done it yet. I'm still not happy with the design, frustratingly. Anyway, today we are, I'm just going to say it's 8:15, it's close enough. Today we're going to build this. This is one of these little step-down power supply, adjustable power supply modules. It's, let's just pour all the bits out. There's a hole in the bag, so hopefully they've all the bits are still in here. I've got a really weird setup today. I've got this webcam just here. It's right in front of me, so it might make it a bit difficult. Oh, we don't want the crap clock in every live stream. That thing drove me nuts. So what is the IC in here? Is it just that? Oh, it's just that. Let's see. God, that's out of focus for you, but it's not for me. It is an LM317. So yeah, adjustable voltage supply. So that's what we're going to be building. And it's got a nice little PCB here, so hopefully no need for instructions, he says. I never get on well if there aren't instructions, so we'll see how this goes. Because I'm using the webcam, there's going to be no super close-up or sped-up bits like there usually is when I do a Lazy Sunday. I spend a lot of time positioning the camera for that and also editing afterwards, so this will be very different. So let's get started. We don't need that anymore. Let's identify the big parts and then we'll look at putting those in last. I was going to say first, but I don't want to do that. So we've got a switch here. Nice action on that switch. Where's that going to go in the board? Around here. Okay, well that can go last. We've got some big old caps. They'll go on last as well. This terminal block, they look a bit like speaker terminal blocks, these ones, don't they? Only left audio. Ah, hang on a minute. Yeah, that's my fault. Let me see if I can change that. I've recently formatted my PC, so oh, my keyboard has stopped working. Recently formatted my PC, so it ruined all my OBS settings. Bear with me a second. Audio, channels, mono. Program must be restarted for this to take effect. Okay, it's going to go offline for a second, but we'll be back in a minute. Sorry. Right, I'm just going to check. Hopefully we're back and not everyone left. So you should now hear me on both channels, hopefully. Do tell me if that's the case and then we'll continue. Yeah, cool. I'd set it to have stereo audio, but I've got a mono microphone, so that was the issue. So hopefully not too bad. Okay, so let's get started with this. So it is an adjustable voltage supply. I think it's a step down thing because it's an LM317, but we're just going to identify the components and then put them in the board ready to go. I've got my soldering iron on. It is just here. And all I need to do is read some of these darn components. I'll tell you what, let's have a little bit of a play with the focus on this camera, shall we? And then we'll focus in close so that you can see these parts up close. So if I hold one there and then try and focus. There we go. Okay, we're going to leave it like that, and then I'm just going to bring the parts up. So what the devil is that thing? God, I can't. It's certainly a capacitor. 30 picofarad maybe? Let's see if we've got anything on here which looks like a 30 picofarad capacitor. Is it a fuse? I mean, it could be. I'm going to say that's this component here. Could it be a resettable fuse? UF? Yeah, I think it's probably a fuse. It's certainly not any of the other... Actually, hang on. No, they're 104. This would be obvious if it was 104. I'm going to say that's the fuse. I'm putting it in. It's going there. Decision made. Right, we've got some 104s. These are always easy to identify, aren't they, these ones? You'll have to tell me what the stream looks like. From here it looks okay. I've not dropped any frames, so that's always a good sign. This is another 104. That's going to go in here. Ooh. Has anyone been making anything recently while I'm just kind of boringly selecting components here? Test the resistance to verify. That's probably a good idea, but we'll see if we can just get away with it. If we just put all the components in first, then it won't matter. We've got some diodes. So IN 4007. IN 4007. Wonderful. These are the correct ones. I'm just going to pop that down and bend these legs. I don't know if anyone noticed, but in the last video I did, where I was messing around with my computer, which loads of people disliked, by the way, which is fine. I didn't think loads of people would like it. I had paint all over my hands. I don't know if anyone noticed that. And I also told you a bit of a secret about myself, but you will have to watch it to find out, so I'm not going to repeat it. Something best left in the past, I think. These are all the same? Yeah, they're all the same. Oops-a-daisy. Someone is getting complacent. Hang on a minute. So these diodes, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Does this thing take AC? I really hope it doesn't take AC. And the other way around. So Eric's been 3D printing, it looks like. Ronald's just finished a project with an LM317. My oscilloscope is not really to hand, so I shan't be pulling it downstairs. It's really heavy. I've got a very old oscilloscope, so it is not portable. It's not one of those little desktop ones. Yeah, I thought it was a bridge rectifier too. That's what it sort of looks like to me. But, I mean, I thought it was a DC device. Not that it'll matter if it's a DC one. And I've got another diode here. Hello? Really? Diode 3, I guess. Well, they're all exactly the same, so it's going to have to go to D3. Pop that one in just there. Don't actually, it's going to have to sit up. It's going to have to be one of these sort of ones that sits proud. Maxint made a simple LCD clock. Nice. I have to sit like that. Unless there's one I've missed, but I don't think... Oh, hang on a minute. It did say... Oh no, LED goes over here. With... Oh, come on now. Without any clear indication as to which side is ground on here. Okay, we'll figure it out. So the LED... Okay, so there's our LED over here. And we have a resistor that goes across these two tracks. So that would be this one, which looks like a 150 ohm resistor-ish. I'm going to say ish because I refuse to learn them. Right, let's... we could probably use a terminal block. Do we want to put that in now? Will that fall out? It probably will, won't it? No, actually it's pressed, it's sort of very stiff in there, which is good. And we've got the LED, which I think goes this way around. The resistor for this LED is over here, so I'm going to assume that resistor is going to the positive terminal, or the anode. Is that right? I can never remember anode, cathode. I think the anode is the positive terminal and the cathode is the negative. What else do we have that's small? There's another resistor here. Oh, 4.7K is the one going to the LED, and the other one's 220. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure this is a 220, but I can't read them. So we're going to cheat and use a multimeter, because I refuse to remember, and I think this one will be the 4.7, but let's test it, shall we? I'm going to pop this down on the bench now, and I'll just refocus that video. I'm going to have to... I've got this wireless keyboard, but I forgot to charge it up before, so I've got a hooked up to a power bank, but it keeps going off. Right. Focus. This webcam's got these really tiny focus steps. There we go. So I want to test out those resistors and drop everything on the floor at the same time. I know loads of you absolutely hate the fact that I refuse to learn the resistor codes, but you know, that's just how it is. So let's try this one. This is the one I thought would be 220. Don't let me be wrong. Oh no, I'm right. It's 217. Good. And this is the one I thought would be 4.7K. And it is good. So I had a 50-50 chance there and I got it right. So good. Proves nothing at all, does it? Ah, that's good. A stands for anode. Okay. I am a positive A. That's good. Oh god, this was the wrong one. 220. So it's going to have to be another one of these ones which sits up off the board. Just like that. And then our other resistor. I am aware that Blue Planet 2 is starting on BBC One. I think it's BBC One and BBC One HD. I sound like an advert. This evening. So I don't mind if you all disappear at 9 o'clock, but I don't think we all watch live TV anymore. It is usually one of these things where people watch it after the fact in their own time. Now, I think we could probably get this little guy in. What is this? This is a 2N5551, so it's this thing here. Let's do these ones first and then we'll come back. I can solder at a slight angle, that's not a problem. God, this Blue Tech is rubbish. I just need it to hold it steady, nothing else, so that's all right. Okie doke. Now, soldering behind this webcam is going to be a chore, but we'll give it a go. Oh, I should have tightened up this soldering iron. I can feel it move. So this has got like a little screw thing on this soldering iron. I don't touch it because it's going to be really hot, but it feels pretty loose. Do I have a pair of pliers? No. It's wiggling about a little bit. Still, it doesn't seem to be stopping the heat coming through, so we're all right, I think. Right, these are the diodes getting soldered in. Does anyone has anyone done one of these kits before, these LM317 kits? Blue Planet started at 8. Ah. Okay, well thanks for all joining me. Appreciate it. I think I'm just going to have to use these just to, because this is definitely not, look, you can see how that'll do. I'm not sure. I don't like the idea this has got this bridge rectifier, or what appears to be a bridge rectifier. I don't want it to be an AC input thing when I've sort of prepped. I can't get to this one. I've sort of prepped for batteries. There we go. Yeah, if it's AC, I don't really know if I'm going to be able to do this because I've got no facility to safely bring in AC. But I mean, I could blow myself up for your entertainment if you like. Gosh, this is an awkward position to be doing this in. I can't, hang on, I'm going to have to move it over. Oh, do you know what? Let's take a few of these legs off here. There we go, that's better. There we are. You don't want to, these don't really want to work, so let's cheat a little bit. It's not cheating, I'm just giving it a helping hand, like cleaning it a little bit. Yeah, Marek says it is an AC bridge rectifier. You can hook it up with AC or DC, but you'll lose 2 times 0.7 volts on the diodes. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I didn't think it would matter, but I'm glad that you clarified that, so thank you. I've got about 12 volts to throw into it, so that'll be plenty. I wonder how many Lazy Sunday videos I've done now. Must be quite a few. Right, let's cut some of these off, shall I? And we'll see how much of a bad job I've done. I'm not using the right clips, am I? Right snips. They're upstairs somewhere. We're gonna have to make do with these ones. Someone told me which ones to use, and I bought a pair, and they're really great, but I use them for loads of things now. So yeah, flush cutters, they're the ones. Oh, Electronics Workshop getting a little bit of an advert in there. I'll let you guys decide if you're happy about that. I do not mind. I think someone's asking what I'm building. It is an LM317 based adjustable regulator. Wow, adjustable voltage output module thing. All right, let's just clear some of that away. Oh, I probably need that component. Right, so they look sufficiently better. Oh, I've forgotten to solder one of these things. This thing here. It is the terminal block. There we go. This is going to take a fair bit of heat, I think. Come on now, help me out. There we go. There's something going on with that pin. It does not want to wet up properly. You might have to suck the solder away there. Yeah, I'm going to. Let's try that again. That's better. There we go. Right, so that is everything on that. This might actually end up being quite a quick one. I hope it's not too quick. So we've got our fuse thing, which I hope it doesn't really matter which way around it is. Let's get a bit closer again. Oh, this stupid keyboard has gone off again. There we go. Configure video. Have it somewhere up here. Well, that's not working. Deactivate. Sorry, that was me that just did that. I'm just trying to, there we go. All right, so if I bring it up here and press that, no, too far. There we go, that's all right, isn't it? So, we've got a few, I'll turn it the right way, helps, won't it? So this is my terrible soldering job. God, it's not easy to focus, is it? So they look fairly okay. And then we've got a few other bits to put in. So we've got this little guy, which is the 2N5551. Let's stretch those legs out a little bit. And then slot that in. Sort of push that one out a bit too far. There we go. And then we've got a couple of capacitors. These components sort of hold in quite nicely, so I think we might be all right with just putting them in. I need to attach the heatsink before we try and put the LM317 in. But we can put a couple of these capacitors in. Now the hatched line there, that means that's the negative end. And in fact, it's sort of mirrored on these capacitors. You've got the white line. Not that you do on all capacitors, but most capacitors you will. And don't always trust that the legs are indicators. Usually the legs on the long side are the positive side and the shorter side is the negative, but again, not always the case. Let's just push those out a little bit to make it hold in. There we go, they look okay. And what else do we have on here that will be easy to put in? What about this thing? God, that's not going in there, surely. No, it's not. It's going over here. Pointing outwards, I assume. Sorry, let me just jump back in the chat. Oh, Eric says I need to get a splash pan. Yeah, I've seen your splash pan. I'm always afraid that if I flick solder, it's going to like flick up in my face because I'm not wearing any safety specs, which is not a great idea. This is not There we go. That's fine. That's in. So it's a 5K pot. And then, oh, there's another. There is another little cap here. A 10 microfarad one, which kind of, it's probably quite important. Let's pop that in. Okay. I think if we just shove that in, might help stabilize it. I think we can start soldering those in. Let me refocus the camera again. God, this is tiresome. Right, so it goes to around there. Perfect. Okay, blue tack at the ready. Maxint said, I often solder at 320 to 350. Too high gives early oxidization of the solder. I solder at 383. Not for any particular reason, only that I think is what my soldering iron came set as. Or it's one that I've used before at that temperature or something, I think maybe. But it is fairly high, but I usually do all right with it. There we go. Oh, I've just pushed some blooming components in, haven't I? Probably just that one, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, let's get these in. I'm not going to solder this side because I know it's not level. So we're just going to do these big old caps. Let's attack that from a different direction here, I think. This blue tack method isn't really holding this board down very well, but it's got huge caps on here, so I'm not surprised that it's not massively stable. There we go, and let's get this potentiometer in. Nope. This board feels really dirty. I should have fluxed all of it, really. God, that's a lot of flux. Oh, crumbs. Okay, that's quite a lot. I use, this is the solder I'm using. So it's 6040 tin lead, multi-core solder. It's brilliant. This roll is going to last a while still, I think, but this is what I would recommend. It's expensive though. That's better. This is now covered in flux. Never mind. Those caps are nicely on there. That looks okay. The well, it's a little bit wobbly. Can't really help that though. Let's. I don't need to clean that. Never mind. We won't be cleaning it. We're just going to cut these bits off. I can't quite reach that one. Rinse it with tea. And last one. There we go. Do you know, someone a while back told me off for, I just used to clip these things and just see where they flew, you know, just like clip, 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 and then it'd be like ping, ping, ping into the camera and stuff. And they said, don't do that, it's dangerous. And I'm obviously not wearing any goggles or anything, because I do have some, I just don't really wear them. But so I've decided these days just to put my fingers over them. Yeah, I use use flux rather, quite a lot. But I think it's more of a crutch these days. I don't think I need it. It's just, I bought it and I've got 2 of these. There was a really good deal on them at the time. They look to be, that looks Polish to me. Oh God, it's very difficult for you to see, but where is that? Oh no, it might be German actually. Flussmittel, that sounds German to me. It's just the accent over the S looks to be Polish to me. I started with one of those solder guns. Does anyone remember them? I think they're sort of used in plumbing applications a little bit more probably. So yeah, I started with one of those. Which way around is this going? Probably that way. And boy, was it awful. Really wasn't good. But I persevered for, I don't know, like a year with that thing. Do you know what? I'm not doing that yet. That's a mistake. We want to get this. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. That can definitely go in now. It's all right. It's going to take a lot of heat though, isn't it, this one? Yeah, I thought the label looked Polish too. I live in a very sort of multicultural area of the city here, and so there are lots of Polish shops around, Romanian shops as well, and it does look like that. Smak in Polish means tasty, or taste good, something like that. Do you know what? That's enough. Let's have a look at it, shall we? I should be able to come a bit closer if I do this whole magic with the... There we go. Well, it's not perfect, is it? But it's good enough. Nothing too terrible. I mean, if I had those flush cutters, that would look nice. But otherwise, that looks like an alright job. I do hope those 2 are meant to be joined. They look like they're on the same track, so I don't think it matters. What am I missing? So the switch and the LM317. Okay, and that was input, output, right? I think it's right. That was definitely input, wasn't it? I'm sure it said in. All right, let's go back. Oh, no, that's too far, isn't it? Perfect. Okay. Now, the next bit, let's throw this switch in. That way. And no, no, that's not going to work, is it? what have I got here that's going to be the right height? Oh, do you know what? We'll just do it quickly and hope it doesn't fall over. There we go. If we just tack it, then we'll be fine. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be okay. We'll just put the rest on. They are giant, aren't they? I don't imagine the well, no. That switch is going to be rated for many amps, I would have thought, at low voltage anyway. God, I've just fed a lot of solder on that. That will be... Well, okay. It ain't perfect. You think the output's reversed? Well, we'll find out soon, I guess. That wouldn't have fit the other way round. The input is over here because that's where we've got these. I'm going to be able to cut this. Zooming in. Oops, sorry. I'm moving you guys around. I sort of envision you guys as the. Oh. Right. So input is over here. That's where we've got this bridge rectifier. Output's over here. So let's follow it. So it says this one is ground. Well, it says, I mean, that's just where the black bit is. So that's going to the on-off portion of the switch. So we're switching ground on-off, are we? And that goes to the fuse, yeah, okay. And then the fuse goes to that component there, which is, that's not going to tell me too much. And this pin here, which is the positive. You are correct. That does appear to be reversed. So is that correct? Yeah. No, yeah. You're right. That's positive. That appears to be negative. So this one goes here to what? Goes around here. Yeah, that's ground. So ground positive, it seems. So good spot, whoever played PlayDav 485. Interesting. Why would they do that? I mean, that wouldn't have fit the other way around. It would have been in the way of the other components, unless it was meant to go on the other side of the board, but I very much doubt that, because there was nothing to solder it to there. So is it just they picked components that would work? I don't know. Well, we've only got the LM317 left to do, so let's get back into the normal mode. There we go. Now I need, oh no, have I even got one? Yes, screwdriver. So we have to screw it into our thing. Now, don't really know. Oh, hello. I've got a little screw that goes on there. That's so you can put it in a mounting box, I guess. I wouldn't really want to hold that whole thing up by the... Well, I've got a little knob on it, so that's nice. That's what she said. And we want to screw this into here. Now, did it come with any kind of thermal stuff? I don't think it did. Unless I've put it under stuff. No. Well, I've got thermal paste over here. Shall we use a bit? We can do. We might as well. I just sorted my computer out. This is probably well overkill for this kind of thing. I mean, oh well, we'll go for it. Now, I should probably insulate that with the washer, right? Not insulate, I don't know. Do we even need that? I don't think we do. I'm not going to use it. Don't know what that's for. I think that's for the other thing. So that will go in there. Is it just going to self-tap in? Let's find out. Oh my God, don't do this to me. Right, fine. There we go. Just, oh! Right, I'm gonna have to move around the camera a little bit, sorry. I think, do you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of thermal paste on here, like really small amount. Oh God, that's too much. Well, we've done it now. Yeah, it's not that expensive, is it? I can't remember. I only bought it to replace that damn Heatsink. Oh, Jesus. At least it will hold it in place. Right, there we go. Now, for heaven's sake, screw, just go in. Stop shaking hands, God. Please, just... Right, please be magnetic. It is, good. Right, just oh no, stop. Stop shaking. Okay, we're in. Oh, stop. Ah! Okay. Oh yeah, Dan, that sounds like a much better idea than what I've been doing. That's not even the right screwdriver. Is it? It's going to have to be it, because I think that's the only one I've got in front of me. Unless I go and get another one. Should I go and get another one? No, we're gonna persevere. I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna keep going. Right, I've got it. Gently does it. Ah, we're past the hard bit. It's done. Except now there'll be thermal paste everywhere because I put way too much on. And I probably didn't even need to use any. We've done it now. I'll put it in here and then we'll tighten up the screw afterwards. Oh, for heaven's sake. Right, let's pop this in. Oh, come on now. I know you guys can't see sometimes because I'm trying to look with my eyes and not through the camera. There we are. It's in. Yes. Okay, let's solder this thing in, shall we? Have a little. This coffee's going to be cold now. Yes, it is. Yeah. Still, coffee is coffee, right? Yeah, I thought the washer might be for the pot, Tim. Tino, not Tim, sorry. Right, let's get the heatsink in. Oh, I thought that one was going to be really difficult because it was going to soak up the heat, but maybe it's just a really bad heatsink. Those bits are probably designed not to be sinking very much heat though. There we are. A little bit ugly, but we'll make do. Shall I not zoom in, but come really, really close. Geez, you can actually go, let's see how close it will go. We're actually gonna with like through the looking glass now. There we go. That's not even as close as it will go. Wow, look at that. Okay, so not ideal, but they're definitely electrically connected. And we've got our LM317 just here oozing out a bunch of non-conductive solder paste. So fairly, God, that's not even the right part. I'm fairly happy, that'll be all right. Right, we have to jump back out now to about, oh God, not there, hang on. There, that looks, oh no, not there. There we go, that looks all right. There's no whiskey left in the house, I'm afraid, Mark. That is it. So, all I want to do is tighten up that screw a little bit on here. Not an awful lot, because it's definitely connected. And now, what do we do next? I mean, I haven't finished the project in such a long time. I don't really know what I'm doing. So we want to feed some power in. So in is over here. All I've got is this, which is a 12 volt. Wow, what is it? Let's have a look. It's probably something like 12 volt. Let's turn the soldering iron off. Actually, quick little, it's not a pro tip. I just got told to do this by some electrician guy. Electrician? No, they probably wouldn't like that. He's an electronics technician. So just put a little bit of solder on the end of your iron. And then when you turn, and pop it back in your holder. And then when you turn your iron off, that solder will solidify over the end of the iron, stopping it from being attacked by oxygen or any other things like that. So just sort of protects it. And then next time you just wipe it off when you do that. So let's have a little look at these batteries. I can't tell whether you can see that. Hang on. Cancel. Save. Yeah, you can see. That's cool. So we've got 10.7 volts. Well, yeah, okay, that will do. It'll have to. Now, I've only got crocodile clips and I need to go into there. So we're going to cut some little bits of what, actually, no, we don't need to. We've got some of these wires, so they'll do, won't they? Right, I'll be back in a minute. I need to go and get some screwdrivers. That's my microphone. All right, hopefully that's back on in the right place. Everybody hide. I like that. I also picked up the isopropyl alcohol so I can get the toothbrush out on this thing because I don't like sticky flux on stuff. So I'm just gonna try not get it on the the thermal compound because I don't think alcohol works. Sorry, I'm just hitting the camera now, just going to bring you back in. Although, you know, when you put isopropyl alcohol on some of these flux things, then it just turns into an even stickier mess. Oh well, it'll do. Dave says, could you add some text like soldering XYZ module? I can after the fact, but I didn't know what I was going to choose before the stream, so I didn't. And also, I'm not quite sure what this is. After the fact, I will try and find a link to it so that I can share it, but I don't really know. So, what am I doing first? Oh yeah, I remember. I want a small flathead thing to go into these screws here. So where is a small flathead one? That one will do. Please move, the video is interrupted message. I didn't know there was a message. Today I'm not even looking at the live control room thing. I wouldn't even know how to do it if I tried. Is that a thing? Let me just refresh this page. I don't even know if I'm allowed to refresh this page. God, I don't know. Okay, let me see. I don't know if I can. Let's just find out. Hang on a second. Sorry. Oh, I'm moving you about again. I apologise. 317. Adjustable. This is how I type. Voltage. Module. There we go. That's how I type. Right. Save changes. I don't know how to get rid of any message that might be on the thing. I don't know where that is. Live control room. Oh no. Let's just click on watch. Hopefully you guys don't hear this. Yeah, if there's a message on the screen, then you probably just have to click refresh or something. Right, back in, hopefully. I have no idea how many people are watching the video. Does it actually say anywhere? I don't know. Still, let's blow some things up, shall we? I mean, I don't want to, but you never know what might happen. Let's put this over there. So let's unscrew these. Did I just do that? I might have done. And the bottom one. Do I know which one's positive or negative? No, I do not. Da, 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 da. I really don't. But it doesn't matter, does it? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one's positive or negative. Because it's going through a bridge rectifier. Look, if do you know what? Hang on a minute. Sorry for dropping the mic there. I can't go around that way. Where are they? Just in case. If that huge cap blows up, I want to be wearing those. Yeah, the bridge should mean it won't matter whether it's positive or negative on each terminal. So I'm probably going to be dropping a few more volts anyway, because I'm having to do some weird janky way of connecting this. I can't find one of these PP9 connectors with cables coming off it to plug into this, so I'm going to have to use these sort of... Does anyone know which ones are these? Are these crocodile or are they alligator clips? I don't know. I'm going to say that's a crocodile clip. The alligator ones, would they have pointier noses, or I don't know. Right. We've connected one terminal. Okay, we probably want to get some cables on in here, don't we? Should we strip some wire for it? Let's do that. I've got one of these awful things here. I don't like these very much. They tend to break. Where has it broken on this one already? No, this one seems fairly intact, but I'll take a bit more off that. I mean, if I was a bit more prepared, I might have some other wires that were different colours, but I don't see... Actually, no, I do. There's one over there. Oh, screw it. We're going to use two grey ones and we'll just have fun. We know that they're reversed anyway, so we know what the polarity is. I don't know whether... You know what? I don't know if my probes will fit in there. Will they? Do you know? Yeah, they will. Good call, Steve. You can't see that. It's not in shot. Let's just turn it on. Oh, wait. Is this going to blow up my multimeter? It probably won't. So let's pop that in there. And that one is going in there. And then other crocodile clip. Oh my lord. Oh, and safety squints. I'm putting these on now. Oh yeah, the LED's going to come on, isn't it? Let's just pop one of these probes out of my multimeter for now. Well, I'll just pop them both out. We'll just leave it out for now. And then this one to blue tack to the rescue. Oh, do you know what I haven't checked? Imagine if there were some stray bits of metal under there shorting everything out. You guys probably saw that and thought this is going to be hilarious. Right, that to there, and then that is going over to that one. Right, so there's an LED on the board and we should be able to just turn it on, right? Oh, okay. So do you want safety squints as well? Are you ready? Yeah, I just don't want the cap to blow up in my face, that's all. So it's on. Let's plug the thing back in. We're in voltage. I'm going to turn it off while I plug them in. What are we getting out? 8.2. Oh, where is the knob gone? There it is. So it's very lowest extents at the moment. You can't see that, can you? So that's gone down to 1.67. This is very sensitive. In fact, I'll show it so you guys can see. Oh, this is really awkward. Hang on. There we go. So this is coming down from only 10 volts. So this is at its highest extent. So we're dropping 2 volts. So I think someone said 2 times 0.7, didn't they? And that's the voltage drop across the diodes, the 2 diodes that are running in the correct direction. And then if we go down, so at the lowest extent, the lowest it will go down to is 1.267. Our LED over there probably requires about 3 volts. No, it starts lighting at 1.7, and that is on the output. So yeah, it isn't less. It would be nice if there was a bang, wouldn't it? But no, there isn't. And there's not an awful lot of capacitance on that output, is there? I would have thought it would hold for a little bit longer, but there isn't. No output capacitors, are there? Are they only input capacitors? I think they are. Well, safety specs off. That seems fairly good. I wanted an adjustable sort of bench supply, and I wanted one to be small, pretty portable. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of these PP9 connectors and have it permanently on here, so then I can just throw 9 volts onto it, or whatever I happen to have, which will probably be one of these. I seriously need to get some new batteries. These are old. They probably say on them how old they are. Do they? I thought they used to have like the date stamped. No, maybe not. But they are pretty old. So you charge them up, they don't last very long. So it'd be nice to get some better ones. Eneloop's apparently really good, or at least that's what Julian says most of the time. The current rating on this, I haven't got a clue. Do you know what? I could probably look it up. Bear with me a second. Let's turn on this keyboard again. God. Let's see. I think it was on my Amazon wish list. So, how's the video looking, by the way? Because this is just a webcam. It's nothing special. Amazon. Again, this is how I type. I say it out loud. Amazon LM317 module. Doesn't look like that. That's what it looks like. Output 1 volt, 1 amp max. Shall I, oops. I've clicked on something. Hang on. Let's, God, how do I do the screen? Just okay on that. Let's see if I can. Right, it's about to get all psychedelic in here. Display capture, that's what I want to do. Display capture, okay. Here we go. That's exactly what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you in reality. So this is exactly the same one. I remember the diagram. So it's down to 1.25. So we did see that down to 1.25, but up to 30. So yeah, interestingly, that thing is round the wrong way. So they got that component, this one here, they did get that wrong, didn't they? So it is reversed on mine. Can you, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. I can't see what I'm streaming while I'm doing this, but hopefully it's streaming the screen. So let's see if it's got any listing for it. So input DC volts 5 to 35 volts, input AC 6 to 25. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to find AC at 6 volts or 25 volts. Output DC volts 1.25 to 30, output 1 amp max, minimum dropout voltage for the input, and output 3 volts. Okay, I wonder if anyone asked any questions. No, no one's asked any questions. Well, wait. Hang on, gonna go psychedelic again for a second here. There we go, we're back. Yeah, so this is, they're reversed. So if if we were to flip it round, they'd be pointed that way. But in the diagram, red was down here. So whether someone did a little Photoshop job on this, I don't know, in the picture, but it is interesting. I don't mind that the colours are the wrong way around. I'm gonna have to I'll just paint over one with red and one with black, and then I'll know, I guess. In fact, I tell you what, hang on a minute. Do I have that here? Oh, crumbs, I'm gonna fall on things. Right, let's just do it now, shall we? I happen to have paints here. Don't ask me why. Well, you can ask me why, and I'll tell you why, but I do have paints. Right, when you're using acrylic paint, you really want to put it in something before you do this, but I'm just not going to bother. That's just red. I might be able to ping it out, but I've soldered it on now, so I think it'd be a bit difficult. And I'm not going to bother. I haven't got black. Yeah, I have. There it is. I 3D printed. Well, that's white. I don't think I've got black. I can't see it anywhere if it is here. Oh well, let's go for dark blue instead. I was 3D printing something for a small 2-year-old, and he likes this program called Paw Patrol, which is it's a weird one about dogs that go and like save the day and stuff. So I 3D printed this logo for him. There we go. Sorted. Wow. There we go. So now that is correct. The one on there is now the red one is now the right one. So done. I could probably clean it off with a bit of isopropyl alcohol, couldn't I? Actually, they're water soluble. I should have done that. So there we go. They're probably painted shut. You're right. We'll find out next time, won't we? Yeah, Paw Patrol, something on the double. That's basically it. So I 3D printed this Paw Patrol badge that I found on Thingiverse, and so he freaking loves it. And then was it yesterday, day before yesterday, I did there's this book that he likes called There's a Monster in My Book, and the whole idea is that you scream at this monster to get him out of your book because you're freaked out there's a monster in there. Then he appears in your room, and you don't want the monster in your room, so you scream at him to get back in. Anyway, I took the picture off the front of that, extruded it into a 3D model, and then did I swear? I hope not. YouTube flags you for everything these days. So I extruded this thing, and it's a blue monster, and I painted him up. I think I did just swear, didn't I? Anyway, it's been an hour, and we have actually finished something, which is incredible. So I'm going to call that the end of the stream. Unless someone has some questions or something, then feel free to pipe up and I will answer them or explore something further with this if anyone else has got some ideas. But I can't put anything in those terminals now because I've painted over it. Oh, I did want to show you something I've got here now. Let's just move that out of the way, shall we? I'll put you over there. So this thing, you remember? This hasn't been, oh crumbs, moving everything. This hasn't updated for a while because the batteries ran out. Oh, in the chat, okay. I can't swear anymore because YouTube flags up your content and it gets demonetized, which isn't necessarily a problem, but I just don't like the idea that they've flagged my videos for inappropriate behavior. Anyway, so this thing hasn't sort of changed since the 17th, so it's been like 2 weeks. So the batteries ran out after only about 5 days. And it's because of the CH340G, the serial comms chip on this darn thing, on the WeMOS. So what I've done is I've just made it USB powered. I've just done that and I'm just going to glue it in. But that means in the future I'm not going to be using those WeMOS boards. I might use them for development because they're really useful to be able to just plug it in, but I think I'll just be using the bare ESP-12s, using the code that I develop on the WeMOS boards. So yeah, I think that's... Basically, I've been resisting using those bare boards for ages, and I always like the convenience of having the ones with the USB on board. So I've been trying to find ways to not have to use bare boards, and I think I'm just going to have to use them in the end. So I shall give in. Anyway, if there are no questions, then we're going to end it here. And I shall say thank you very much for... Did I cuss? I really hope I didn't. Anyway. If I squash the spring, you can remove this and swap the red and black. Oh well. I've painted it now. It's done. So thank you very much for joining me. I will we'll do something soon. I will get on the binary clock kit. I've also, rather embarrassingly, I still have that radio thing. The two radio things, are blooming two of them, aren't there? So we've got, and it's still on my desk. It's just like there. In fact, oh god, this is going to be embarrassing. Well, all right. It's there, look. It's still in a pile there. Look. All really lovely and clean. Pushes everything to the side. So yeah, that's basically how it works. Yeah, so I've got the two radio things. The radio cube, which is a terrible idea, I realise, but I'm going to finish it. And the vintage radio that some people hate me for destroying, but whatever. You'll have to take that up with somebody else. So thank you very much, and I will speak to you all. Oh god, I can't turn the stream off because I forgot about the keyboard. Doesn't work. There we go, I can do it now. No, I can't, it's not working. Okay, pretend I'm not here. Okay, it's working. I can click stop now. Yeah, thanks a lot for coming, and I will speak to you all in the near future.